Hello there, welcome to RandomRepair 2. Today we've got a kiosk printer, thermal printer, 3" or 80mm. We're just going to replace the print head. It's just gone a bit weak, it's not printing a good barcode stroke QR code out. So yeah, not bad units, they come apart pretty well. It's just the print head is a bit of is the worst thing to get apart really. Anyway, okay, so yeah, you can see I'm just taking that was the cutter, paper cutter I just took out there. I'm just getting the springs out now. Just removing those springs, put them to one side. Yeah, just loosens up the print head. Ribbon cable's on the other side of it. We've got to get the other back off to get the ribbon cable out. Okay. So I've had a bit of a break from the last time I did one, but I'm back on again now. So okay, yeah, these are 24-volt kiosk printers, designed to fit in into a panel and into a cutout. And there's a carrier that holds a roll at the back. I'm just taking the back off here now to get into where the circuit board is, so I can undo that print head, the ribbon cable off the print head. It's not too bad a job. I haven't really done one before, so it yeah, I haven't really done one before, and it's took a little longer than it probably should have really. I'm just putting a used one in, but there's your serial, the part number. I hope that's a part number. I don't know whether you can get these. A lot of the industry, they try and make it so you got to buy stuff off them, so they want to charge you God knows how much for the whole thing, a lot of money. Problem is you can't get the parts quickly. So sometimes you just got to try and fix them, or use some spare parts. We're building it up. It's susceptible to moisture as well, so get a bit rusty. This one's okay. Okay, yeah. So we're just putting the print head in. This is a fiddly part. It's a bit of a bastard, to tell you the truth. You got to try and hold the head up so you can get to the connector where you push this flat flex ribbon into, and as you push, it's pushing the head out. So you need about 3 hands really, and then you can see me struggling with it. Yeah, I get it in. It's just you can't really grab those flat flex ribbons. Some of them have got like a plastic piece on them, so you can gives it some rigidity, so you can push it into the slot. But this hasn't got one, so you got to go a bit careful. It's a bit of a ball ache, but that's the worst part. Once that ribbon's in, the problem is you can't test it till it's back on the job. That's the problem. We need to be able to test these things. Probably look into it a bit further next time we have to do one, but this one's just to show you how to replace the print head. There might be a better, easier way of doing it, but this is without a manual or anything. Just taking it apart as I see it, and look how fiddly it is to get this ribbon in. It's what takes the time, yeah. And all the cogs are dropped out there. There's the guillotine, the paper cutter. Those are the cogs, and the bush that operate that. So that's going to be a bit of a... I'll put them back in a bit. Yeah, so it's not too bad. We fixed it, took it back to site and installed it, and it worked okay. It read the QR code back on a different device. So this is on a machine. You drive up, there's a barrier, and you just press a button, and it shoots you out a ticket with a date and time encoded into it and all the rest of it. And it then gives you some grace period. You got 10 minutes to get out, or whatever it's set to. You have a grace period. If you haven't gone out within that time, then you got to pay. You got to pay to park. Terrible lot of the world's gone to hell in a handbasket, paying to park anyway. That doesn't matter. Cameras are watching it as well. There's a lot of equipment on site, so at least your car's safe. Safe. It's supposed to be safe. It's safe. Yeah, so I'm just putting the springs back now. This printhead is spring loaded, pushing it forward, so when you shut the device up with the paper in it, the thermal paper is pushed right against the printhead on the rubber roller. But it doesn't push it back. If it's a loose fit or anything, you won't get a good print. And they're susceptible to dust and all sorts, especially in this country with you've got wet people with damp and wet tickets and all sorts of stuff. And it doesn't take long for the dirt to get into it, so constantly cleaning it and stuff with isopropanol. So yeah, so just got to be a bit careful with these springs. They can spring off and you never see them again. So yeah, I'm just overdubbing this because I did have some dialogue along, but it was such a long-winded thing. I thought, well, let's speed it up and just speed it up and see, get it done quicker. I mean, you can pretty much see, if you're trying to fix one yourself, you can pretty much see what you've got to do to do the job. The expensive things, these come from the EU, these ones, but it's quite expensive. We can't get hold of one quickly, so at the minute, so it's a case of having to fix it. I'm just putting the guillotine cogs back now. Both those cogs are actually exactly the same. Those bigger ones, and you can see a small bush under there. Yeah, they just fit with the larger cog rim, the two side cogs just facing upwards. It's quite a good thing, really. Cuts the ticket fine. Yeah, it's just a matter of putting it back together now, but you gotta be careful. You gotta make sure it's a fiddly process. You don't want to do any harm to it, so as long as you put it back together, you don't trap a ribbon cable or another low voltage cable or break anything off. I'm just putting the guillotine back on now. It's not bad guillotine, I don't think it's had much use really, or it's not got rusty anyway. So, but these thermal printheads, they are classed as a consumable item. A lot of people and customers don't really understand that it's a consumable item, and it gets weaker and weaker and weaker, and at some point you got to change it or replace the whole thing. Yeah, looks okay. So, have I finished? I don't know. This video was twice as long as this, and I sped this up. Oh, that's the other one. That's another one there. That's the one we pulled out of it. All rusted up. Yeah, all rusted up that did. What am I doing with it now? Oh, yeah, we're missing off this one. This is a refurb. We're missing a bush off one of the paper feed rollers. So I'm just nicked the one off the rusty one. It's funny plastic, so this one's okay. Just lift the spring up and put the bush on. Put the spring back. Yeah, so it's complete one. This one can't tell you where it's gone. Not allowed to tell you where it's going in, but they were waiting to use it, so it had to be fixed. Can't always fix them, but sometimes you gotta, if you can't get the parts quickly, you gotta do something. Right, I'm just giving it a once over with some isopropanol in case I got any fingerprints on it. All stuff was cleaned up beforehand, and it's just when you put it back together, you get your fingerprints on it. And these heads, once you, if they get any score marks on them or tiny micro scratches, you clean them. When they're new, they clean off easier, as they get these micro scratches in them, and they just pick the dirt up so quickly, so you end up having to service them more. You have to go and clean them more often, and then eventually it's just not worth it, and you just replace the head. So anyway, that's I hope that was of some help to someone. Don't know. If anyone knows where you can get these, let us know. Send us a comment. These particular ones, we have trouble getting them. We've got to get them from the EU, and we can't get them quickly. Anyone in the UK got any? Be nice. I could let our works know then. Okay. Yeah, I'm just tidying it up. Oh, giving the sensor a clean there. There's a paper sensor. It's a little photoelectric photo transistor, and a little I suppose it must be an infrared transmitter and receiver. A little tiny package. They use them as paper sensors, so they're basically reflecting against comparing the black background when no paper's in, and when the paper's in, it reflects on the white. So it must be able to sense it. It's quite a nice little unit. I mean, there's a lot more to it. There's lots of aluminium brackets and things, and carriers for the paper. But you could effectively make your own. So that's the bit you want. You could CNC your own brackets, front parts, aluminium carriers and all sorts, out of billet aluminium. So that's the main thing though. What am I doing now? I'm just trying to work out whether I could power it up, but I couldn't readily see which is the plus and minus. So I didn't want to risk it, and didn't want to take it all apart again. So if anyone's got a manual for one of these, it'd be nice if you could email us a link. Yeah, so the one that was rusty, there's two push buttons on top, tactile push buttons, and they're on this one they're fine. On the other one they seized up as well. They even sprayed switch cleaner in, they didn't free up. So what went on there anyway. Right, so I'll put a few clips together. I think that's got to be about it. Surely. No, what else am I doing to it? That's finished, isn't it? Yeah, I think that's finished. It must be about it. That's the old one. Keep that, because you can get printers, but they all come on different. They're all bonded to different bits of steel. Stainless steel, all sorts of shapes. The chances it might look like it, but when you get it, it's not the same. I'm just telling you what the numbers are there. Both M units are the same, and there's nothing, your ticket design or anything is not stored on that at all. So it's communicating via RS232. It's a little D socket. Okay, that's about it. Thanks very much for watching. Catch you on the next one. Bye bye.
You maniacs! You blew it up!